This looks like a job for Superman.
Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
Hulk! Smash!
Who is Spider-Man? He's a criminal, that's who he is. A vigilante, a public menace. What's he doing on my...
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
A little fight in you. I like that. I'm Batman. And here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome to Hero Talk Pod, where we talk about all things superheroes, from movies to comic to TV shows and all the news in between. My name is Trey Mitchell, and I'm joined here by my co-host Josh. Josh, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. And if you guys aren't on Twitter or under a rock like Patrick Star, and you don't know, this morning there was a bunch of Justice League news for the Justice League movie that's being directed by Zack Snyder, stars everyone that was in Batman v Superman, basically. And what happened was, earlier, I think two weeks ago, or some time ago, some press were invited to go to the Justice League set in London, and they were able to see stuff there that they couldn't say. But then this morning was the first time that they were able to talk about it. So we have a ton of stuff that we're going to talk about with that. If you guys didn't know, I was at Denver Comic-Con this last weekend, and you guys have probably seen online, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he's in the news for some Batman Flashpoint, and my sister actually asked him that question, and I'm the one who told her what to ask. So we got some insider information there. I didn't record the whole video because I wanted to be able to tell you guys some insider stuff. And then we got just a lot of DC stuff this week, and then some Spider-Man 2. And then at the end of the show, we're going to review X-Men Apocalypse. So, first things first, let's talk about all the Justice League stuff. And there's a ton of it. So, Josh, do you want me to just read through all this, and then we can kind of go and talk about it afterwards?
Yeah, sure. Just read everything, and then we'll go like one by one on what we think.
Okay, so if you guys want to just get back, relax, enjoy this, because there's a bunch of stuff we'll be talking about. Okay, so the Justice League movie is one movie. It's not split into two. It seems like the tone is different than Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. There's humor, not just dark and depressing. And basically, what I'm reading from right here is notes I took from the Collider. Collider went and saw the Justice League set, and they made a video about it, and I took notes on that. So, not only does the Flash crack jokes, but Batman's funny too. Batman is different. He's building himself to be the superhero Superman wanted him to be. Cyborg and Flash go after a younger audience. This is basically DC's version of Infinity War. The relationship between Cyborg and Flash is amazing. Devin Faraci wasn't a fan of the Flash's costume. He said they were wires all over the costume. That being said, one of our friends, Caleb, he was on Force Talk once, said that could just be for the so that the in After Effects they know where to put certain stuff. So I don't know about that. Ezra Miller looks so different than all the rest of the characters in his costume. The Flash suit is radically different than the Flash costume on TV. The Flash's suit is made up from some space material that a space shuttle is made up of, so that it doesn't catch on fire. The suit is a prototype that Barry made up. The suit is much brighter. The movie is designed to be more fun and sell more merchandise. I don't know what that says. Devin Faraci thinks that Batman v Superman changed the tone of Justice League. And then this is cool. There's something called Nightcrawler. It's a tank that gets on 4 legs and almost becomes a spider. It literally is the Batmobile, but instead of wheels, it has 4 legs and can walk on surfaces a plane and car can't get to. There are 2 Batmobiles. Because of certain threats, Batman adds more large machine guns and adds a missile launcher to it too. So there are 2 versions of parademons. One is yellow and one is green. And then Devin Faraci said they look like Jack Kirby's parademons. There are 3 MacGuffins, which means like they're trying to find them. mother boxes are basically like DC's Infinity Stones. One of them is Atlantean, one is used by humans, and one is used by the Amazonians. Basically, the people who went and visited said they think Superman will only be in the movie in the third act. And then Steppenwolf, is that his name or is it Stephen Wolf?
I think it's Steppenwolf, but
Okay.
I've never even heard of the character before.
Yeah, me neither. So Steppenwolf is the main villain. And then from comicbook.com, we got a lot of stuff about the Flash. So they reported that a lot of the comedy falls on Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller really delivers the jokes well. They showed a scene. So if you guys don't want to know about the scene, they'll probably show it at Comic-Con. So, but if you guys don't want to know about that, I'll put a little thing in the video where you can come back. So the scene is that Cyborg, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Flash are all talking to Commissioner Gordon about some scientists who were kidnapped by parademons. Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and Batman all disappear when Commissioner Gordon turns his back, a lot like in the Dark Knight trilogy. And when Gordon turns around, Flash is the only one standing there, and then he says something like, "Oh wow, they just disappear on you like that, huh? That's rude." Then he zooms off. And then apparently Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher have great chemistry. Ray Fisher, Cyborg. There's also a scene where Bruce Wayne is sitting in Barry Allen's apartment, and when Barry wasn't expecting it, Barry comes home to see that Bruce is sitting in his apartment and says, quote, "You're introducing yourself as if it's normal that there's a stranger sitting in my second favorite chair." Bruce is recruiting metahumans and shows Barry a screenshot of the convenience store scene that we saw on Batman v Superman. And Ezra says, quote, Ezra Miller, "That's just a guy who looks exactly like me, but is definitely not me. Perhaps just a very good-looking Jewish boy who drinks milk. I don't like milk." And then Bruce throws a batarang at Barry, slows down, and then Barry slows down time, catches the batarang, and realizes that Bruce Wayne is Batman and is really happy to join the Justice League. A few more things. I'm almost done, guys. A lot of stuff. J.K. Simmons looks perfect as Commissioner Gordon. Devin Fauci said he looks amazing. He looks exactly like Commissioner Gordon from the Batman animated series. Cyborg's costume is all CGI from head down. There are 8 scientists that were kidnapped by parademons. Cyborg says 9 at the time because his dad was also one that was kidnapped. And then there's a sequence with Zeus, Atlanteans, Amazonians, and humans set thousands of years ago. So a ton of stuff came out today. I was wrong. I thought there wouldn't be a lot of stuff today. I'm an idiot. You guys probably know that. So there's a lot of stuff to go through. So Josh, I don't know if you want to go through in each individual thing because that would probably take a while, but just kind of scroll through this list and just tell me what you think about certain things that stick out to you.
All right, Just League one movie. I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm not surprised it's not a different tone. I love BVS and I really love Man of Steel. I like BVS more than Man of Steel, but I didn't like Man of Steel that much. But when I revisited it, I loved it. So a different tone. I'm fine with that as long as it keeps the continuity and it's still fun. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. If it still kind of like keeps everything that if it keeps the same kind of tone, like. But it's going to be a little bit different. Like, a humor has to be in it, and that's cool. Flash being like a standout is pretty cool. I'm excited to see Ezra Miller's Flash. Cyborg and Flash's chemistry, that's going to be cool. I'm really excited for that. The Steppenwolf is the main villain. Never heard of the character.
But he was in that deleted scene.
No, I know, but I still never heard of the character.
Yeah,
I still have no
either.
idea. Still have no idea who the character is besides that. I mean, I guess he's like working for Doomsday.
He's
Doomsday.
Darkseid's uncle.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking like maybe he like works for Darkseid or something. Like
Yeah, he's kind of
like
in charge of like the militarization part of it. I think.
Yeah, like Loki was for Thanos.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like that. Yeah, what else? The scene on the rooftop with Commissioner Gordon. I'm so glad J.K. Simmons is like Commissioner Gordon. That scene just sounds awesome.
We're gonna see that at Comic-Con. I guarantee you, we're gonna see that at Comic-Con.
Oh yeah. If we're already finding out about it, I'm fine. Yeah, we'll see it at Comic-Con. What else? I think that's it. The Flash in his apartment. That's pretty cool. We're hearing a lot about Flash.
I'm so excited. I'm
excited to see a suit. Like we've seen.
I don't even care about his suit, honestly. His suit could be the ugliest thing. And
No, I know, but like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Like you're really looking forward to it.
like I'm just excited we're getting Justice League. Like this makes me excited to just see like because I'm a DC fan and
really?
I've started out like I'm a DC person. I'm not a Marvel. Like I like Marvel, but I'm a DC guy. So I've been wanting to see Justice League all my life, and I'm so excited. We finally get to see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. I think everything's exciting. I was already excited for Justice League, but hearing all this news made me even more excited. Can't wait.
I think the biggest takeaways are that DC is really trying to make this movie have more fun. And I think what Jeff Johns said when he talked about DC's Rebirth, which we'll be talking about later in the show. Rebirth is the new issue of comics that DC is doing. And he said that they really want to make the superheroes be signs of optimism. And they want them to be, be happy that they're superheroes. And Deborah Snyder, I didn't put this in. She said that who's Zack Snyder's wife, the director, said that I guess the fans don't want us to deconstruct the superheroes, and I guess that's kind of true because we want to build the superheroes up and be able to see like why they're superheroes. A lot of people complained that in Batman v Superman was kind of complaining about being Superman. Then you go back and watch the original Superman with Christopher Reeve and Superman 2. He doesn't want to be Superman anymore because of Lois Lane. But in the first one, he loved being Superman, and he finds that being Superman is great at the end of Superman 2. Spoilers. And by the way, I just went back and watched Superman 1 and 2 for the first times. I love those movies. Those are great. Some of the effects with Zod flying are awful. But
they're really bad.
It's almost funny. It's like a Batman 1966 funny sometimes. But
it's hysterical. One of the best comedies in my opinion.
Give me the anti-shark spray.
The bat shark repellent. We should do like an audio commentary to that movie.
Oh my gosh, I'm so done.
Like,
no one would watch it, but
I've seen that movie like 100 times. Like, I laugh so hard every time I see that movie.
I couldn't finish it because I was watching all the Batman movies and I couldn't finish a few of them because they're awful. And I watched that one first in preparation for BVS, and I'm just like, what am I doing with my life?
You should watch it again. It's so funny. The movie's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just thinking of the jokes.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. But, yeah, so the superheroes really like being superheroes. It's more lighthearted. I think this is sort of damage control for what Batman v Superman has happened. But I still think they plan on making it a little bit different in tone. I hope that it is different in tone. I hope people aren't just seeing certain clips and thinking that's how the whole movie is going to be and not being right about it. Because that would suck. But basically, my main takeaways, Justice League is not going to be part 1 and 2. It's going to be Justice League 1 and 2. They're going to be 2 separate stories. Apparently, Green Lantern is going to come back at the end of Justice League 1, which is cool. Ezra Miller's Flash sounds brilliant and amazing. One thing that kind of worries me is that Cyborg will be all CGI from head to toe, except for the motion capture. Just because I thought it looked bad in Batman v Superman. But then I think it's really cool. I think it's really, really cool that there's going to be a scene where it's thousands of years ago with the Amazonians.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that.
With the Amazonians, Atlanteans, and humans. Oh, and one more thing. Willem Dafoe is said to be some kind of advisor to Aquaman in Atlantis. So
that's cool.
I wanted him to be a villain, but oh well.
I forgot to talk about that 1,000 years ago scene. That's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see because we're kind of spoiling stuff, but everyone's spoiling stuff. What people are saying is that there's going to be a conflict between Aquaman, Atlanta. Aquaman's Atlantis, not Atlanta. Aquaman's not from Atlanta. Atlantis and the Amazonians where they battle.
Flashpoint.
I can't believe I just said Atlanta, but I'm sure there's some dude who calls himself Aquaman of Atlanta, and he's just like this fat dude who just walks around with like a spear and just says like, "I'm Aquaman of Atlanta." Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cosplay as that someday. What the hell are we talking about anymore? But anyways,
we're still going.
we just created a new character. Aquaman, King of Atlanta. And
Batman 1966, and now Atlanta.
oh my. Anyways, oh boy, we got off track. So anyways, that's a lot of the just. All right, Josh and I just had to pause for about 3 minutes talking about Aquaman from Atlanta, all the things that we could think of. So oh, that was pretty funny. So anyways, getting back to Justice League. We also got the official logo. Man, I can't get this image out of my head. We can't. The official logo for Justice League came out, and Josh, what do you think of it?
Still laughing about the Aquaman thing, but the logo looks great. I'm really excited. We got the logo. It looks like the animated show. It looks like the Justice League animated series. Which
All right, sorry about that. Josh and I had to take a 5-minute break to get our laughs out. And then, breaking news dropped that the Emoji Movie has a logo. That happens on...
That was funny, too.
Stuff that happens on Hero Talk. So, Justice League logo, Josh talked about it. I'll talk about it. It looks cool. Not a big deal to me. I think all the other logos that came out today look cooler, and we're going to talk about those. So,
yeah, I did.
So, Justice League... synopsis and logos for the DC movies came out. So the synopsis for Justice League is that, so quote, fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of a newfound ally, Diana Prince, to face an even greater enemy. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work together to find and recruit a team of metahumans to stand against the newly awakened threat. But despite the formation of this unprecedented League of Heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Flash, it may already be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions. And then we also got the logos for Aquaman, Cyborg. Is the next one Batman? I think.
Yeah.
It just says Justice. So, and then Wonder Woman. So, what's interesting in this is that from all the reports that has come out about Justice League, I haven't heard anything about Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aquaman is not going to be until, I think they're going to, I don't know, I think Aquaman won't be with the team, in those, scenes, on the rooftop and stuff. I think he's going to be,
He's not really going to help there.
I think he's going to be, with his army. He's going to be controlling the army. He's going to be, the military leader kind of guy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see him a lot in Atlantis, I think.
Yeah. So, first thing I'm going to ask you, which of these logos do you like best?
The Batman logo is awesome.
Oh, I didn't put Flash in.
The Flash logo was really cool. I liked it. I don't know which one's my favorite, but
I think
maybe Aquaman.
not Cyborg, Flash and Aquaman. I think I'm more excited for Aquaman just because I think James Wan is like one of the best directors working. If Conjuring 2 didn't make you scared, I don't know what will. I mean, it's like every night when I get up and I go to the bathroom or something, I just think of that freaking nun. Every night.
I didn't even see the movie. The movie because those movies scared the shit out of me. So I didn't want to see it because I knew I would have like nightmares or whatever. So even like I haven't even seen the first Conjuring for that reason. But like just walking, like even just like walking to get water. Like last night I was up at like 4 a.m. Like I woke up in the middle of the night and I went to go get water and I thought of that fucking nun. Like I thought of that nun and like all the windows were.
What? Baki.
All of the lights were like pitch black, like it was pitch black outside, and I thought of that nun, and it scared the shit out of me last night. Like, it was bad.
No, you don't even know. There was one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen in my life in that movie, involving a painting of the nun, and I've just been thinking of that freaking nun. But so the way that my house is. When I walk out of my room, I walk out and immediately right in front of me is our bonus room. And, you know, I have 2 little sisters. So what does that mean? They have 8,000 American Girl dolls. And there's nothing scarier at night than a room full of dolls that look at you. And after watching Conjuring 1, there is a doll. And that terrified me. But anyways, what were we? Oh, James Wan. So James Wan is amazing. I can't wait to see his element that he brings to Aquaman. I think the coolest director would have been James Cameron for Aquaman, but I mean, that's just too perfect of a casting. But we keep getting sidetracked. Sorry about that. But I think all the logos look great. Wonder Woman's looks awesome. I forgot to put Green Lantern Corps in those, but that looks really cool.
Oh, that logo is great. I love that.
Yeah. So let us know what logo is your guys' favorite and comment down below. So our next piece of DC news is that there is a new Batmobile, like I mentioned earlier, and we have a picture. So Deborah Snyder said that there's an action set piece. We're going to take you to this tunnel. It's a tunnel where they're going to build between Metropolis and Gotham, and it's been abandoned, so the project was never fully went forward. But there's abandoned remains of what started to build the tunnel. It's pretty hard to get the Batmobile through there, so it's nice to have the crawler, which can move which can do other things. I think the crawler is the Nightcrawler, the thing that I said earlier, where it's like Batman's tank, but it has separate feet or legs like a spider does almost. So Spider-Man, it's basically Batmobile. But Josh, I don't really see how this Batmobile is a lot different.
I don't either.
I mean, I think it's a cool picture, obviously. I think this is the best looking Batmobile just from, you know, what a classic Batmobile looks like to what it's really used for and the guns on it. I think it's the best looking Batmobile.
It's like a mix. It looks like a mix of like the one from Dark Knight and the one from the classic like Tim Burton movies.
Yeah. I don't love the classic Tim Burton Batman, the Batmobile. I still love the 1966 Batmobile. It's just so impractical.
Oh, I love that one. The red and the black. Yeah. It looks great. Mm-hmm. I love that TV series and that movie is amazing.
Yeah,
so
we got to do a commentary on it. But
that is terrible.
Yeah, so that's gonna do it for our Justice League news. We had a ton of it, so if you guys want to talk about any of it, comment down below. If we miss anything, tell us that we're dummies. And yeah, so all right. So next is something that I talked about at the beginning of the show. So I went to Denver Comic-Con, which is a lot of fun. If you guys have never been to a con, I recommend you go to it. I saw a bunch of people there. I saw Stan Lee talk, Haley Atwell, who was Agent Carter, and I saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan in The Walking Dead, and Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman, and the comedian in Watchmen. So my sister is a big Walking Dead fan, right? I just started watching it yesterday, and I like it. But she was really excited.
So sorry.
What?
I'm so sorry for you.
Okay, you're the only one that doesn't like the 5th season.
No, I don't like the second half of the 4th season. I don't like the 5th season.
My sister loves it. Anyways. So, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was at Denver Comic-Con, and my sister and I made sure we got there early. Forget to get good seats. And the way it worked was the moderator would ask him a few questions and then open up to fans. And my sister really wanted to ask him a question, and we had talked about asking him a question based on Flashpoint. And if you guys don't know what Flashpoint is, it's a storyline in DC Comics where the Flash goes back and saves his mom, and this causes a paradox, which means that instead of the Justice League forming, all of those people become enemies, sort of, and Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at odds against each other. And one of the main things was instead of Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed in Crime Alley when he was little, Bruce gets killed. And in turn, that turns Bruce's dad, Thomas Wayne, into Batman and his mom into Joker. And this guy, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, played Thomas Wayne, so he could potentially be that Batman. So what my sister asked, I'm gonna play you guys the video now so that you can watch it. And yeah.
Let's go over here. Are you ready? Yeah.
Is that just mad panic?
If they made a movie based on the Flashpoint Paradox timeline, would you play Thomas Wayne as Batman?
Man, I would love to play that Batman.
Yeah.
I don't think that I haven't sent Zach, some text messages. Flashpoint would be cool. Flashpoint would be very cool. And years ago when I didn't watch it, Zach and I talked about doing, because before he was attached to anything more, but he had said he wanted to do the Batman story. And he was like, would you be interested? And I'm like, insane. Of course I'd be interested. And one of the reasons that I wanted to play Thomas Wayne when he called was there's always that opportunity. So we'll see what happens. That DC Comics world right now we'll see what they do with it over Warner Brothers and DC now that they've got everything their stuff together. We'll see where that goes and what the possibilities may be. But man, I think that would be awesome.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to play Thomas Wayne, and basically what has happened with you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but this story has kind of been blowing up a little bit on the internet. My Twitter has kind of been going crazy because I tweeted this video in 3 parts, and the first place to pick it up was this one Comic Book Now place or something, and they tweeted it, or they posted about it. They had a story about it, and then next thing you know, Heroic Hollywood has their own story about it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but Miami is kind of a little bitch. But so they posted their own story about it, and they got it totally freaking wrong. What they said was that, so basically, if you guys haven't been watching the Flash TV show, and the DC TV shows from the DC movies are not the same. They don't correspond with each other. Nothing is the same. And so in that show, they're kind of tackling this storyline, Flashpoint. And so the people that were reporting it were saying that Jeffrey Dean Morgan wanted to play Flashpoint Batman in the Flash TV show. But that has nothing to do with what he actually said, because we asked him the question, would he play in a movie? And it wouldn't make sense for him to play it. What?
They should have watched the video.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense for him to play it in the TV show. It doesn't make sense. So a lot of people. So then Heroic Hollywood had this whole story about it where he wants to play it in the Flash, and I just tweeted him. I'm like, you guys are a bunch of idiots that don't do your jobs and don't report what's actually going on. You changed it, and I kept tweeting him stuff like that. And then finally they deleted the whole story. I'm like, good, you guys didn't do your jobs like always. You guys mess up with half your quote unquote scoops. And then this idiot website called, I'm making a lot of enemies right now, called, come at me, Cinema Blend, tweeted like they had their own story, the same thing. It's like, what the hell, man? Did you not listen to the video? I know the audio is kind of hard to hear, but then, like, just ask me. I was the one who came up with the question. So that was stupid. But basically, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a really cool guy. I've talked enough about this, Josh. Do you think he'd be a good Batman? And, like, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, it'd be awesome. I would be so down for this happening. That's really cool. That would be really cool. I don't think it will ever happen, but I think it would be pretty cool if it did.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really interesting. I'm glad you stressed that. It's pretty cool. Your Twitter's like blowing up all of these like stories, like this, like you guys started like headlines and basically,
yeah,
which is pretty cool. Like now you know how I feel when I started the Christian versus Grace Randolph thing, and the whole Twitter was
a war.
Yeah, when that whole thing, when I started that whole thing, my whole Twitter feed was just people talking about that whole war, and so that was pretty cool. But now you know how I feel when that happens, so that's awesome.
The internet's just a very crazy place.
It is.
But like, okay, so this is what I said, where I don't think they'll ever do a full movie. I don't think they'll ever use this story, but this is what I've been saying. In Batman v Superman, we saw how Batman had that some kind of dream where he saw the future of what could be Darkseid and the Parademons, right? What if the Flash thinks about going back and saving his mom, and then he has a similar dream like that where he sees the future and he sees what could happen, and Thomas Wayne plays Batman in that, and the Atlanteans are against the Amazonians and that kind of thing. Like, I don't think it'd be a full movie, but I think it could be a little bit of a story point where the Flash ends up to not do it. Do you know what I mean?
That'd be cool.
Because there's no way they'll ever do this as a full story. Just because they already made an animated movie off of it, they just don't need to do it like that. It just wouldn't make sense. But I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be a really badass Batman, because I don't know, I didn't tell him this. I told someone this. I'm like, in Batman v Superman, he reaches out and tries to grab the guy's gun. I mean, that's the most badass Thomas Wayne we've ever seen, in my opinion. And even Martha Wayne would be a really cool if they made her the Joker. I could totally see that for not like for a while, but just like have that one shot of her as the Joker. Yeah, I know, she's hot. Really hot. But yeah. So, I mean, anything else you want to say about this? It's a pretty cool story. But
I mean, if it happened, that would be really awesome. I'm really excited if that was true.
Yeah.
Especially your thing with, like, I don't think we would see a full movie with Thomas Wayne as Batman, but like a vision, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just think that's the way they would do it. And the vibe, speaking of Flash, the vibe I got from Jeffrey Dean Morgan was like, that's kind of why he signed on to be Thomas Wayne, so that there's that chance he could play Flashpoint Batman, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he said when, like, he's texted Zack Snyder saying, man, Flashpoint would be cool. That'd be really cool. So I think he's definitely up for it. At that Comic-Con, no one asked him about Batman v Superman. It just really surprised me, because I thought he was really good. I mean, that's one of my favorite scenes of the movie, even though we've seen...
Would they ask Watchmen questions or something?
There was one girl dressed up as the comedian from Watchmen. He actually brought her up to the stage. It's really cool. He's a really cool guy, man.
Yeah, he seems really cool. I hope Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, he's awesome. I saw him on Sunday, and Sunday was Father's Day, and he brought his son there. He was saying F-bombs in front of his son, which is so cool. But
that's funny. If you watch, whenever you see Watchmen, which you really need to see Watchmen.
I'm going to, yeah. I've read some of the comic.
He's very, he's so creepy as the comedian. Like, you'll never look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan the same way after you see Watchmen.
Yeah. I mean, he's a really cool guy. I'm really glad that we got to do this, and I'm gonna post the full video on my YouTube channel. Hopefully that video will kind of blow up. I didn't, timing wise, I should have done it better. But yeah. So let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you would want to see this, and basically just anything to talk about. So our last piece of news before we go into a segment that I kind of renamed. So there's some stuff going on with Spider-Man Homecoming. So Spider-Man Homecoming is the next Spider-Man movie made by Sony, but the different thing is all the other Spider-Man movies have been they haven't been tied in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But if you guys saw Captain America Civil War, you know that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is part of this universe now. So that's why people were so excited for Homecoming. And Spider-Man Homecoming has just really amped up their cast. They have Tom Holland. They have now Hannibal Buress and Donald Glover. They also have who's playing Vulture?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. I still don't know. Still don't really think he's playing the Vulture because I don't think that character will work on screen. But
I want him to be Norman Osborn.
I still my dream casting for Norman Osborn would be Matthew McConaughey, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
That could be cool.
That would be really cool. I would even want Bryan Cranston to be Norman Osborn.
Bryan Cranston should just be every suit.
Bryan Cranston should be Luke Skywalker. Bryan Cranston should be Yoda. Should be Vision. Everything. He should be Wicket.
He should be every villain ever.
He should be.
He should be everything.
He should be Aquaman of Atlanta. You know, everything. But
he could be Aquaman of Atlanta.
Yeah, but with Donald Glover, who is also known by his rap name Childish Gambino, he has a new album dropping soon, so check that out. It's a pretty good rapper. A lot of people were speculating that he could be the other Spider-Man, Miles Morales, who was in the Ultimate Spider-Man. And back in 2011, when they were about to make the Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, there was a campaign for Donald Glover to play Spider-Man. And I think he wanted to do it, but they ended up casting Andrew Garfield, and I think, cool. I mean, Andrew Garfield's great Spider-Man. Donald Glover would have been cool too. But it's kind of cool now that he's going to be in the movie. Josh, I know people have been talking about this ever since the casting came out. Do you think he could be playing any version of Miles Morales?
No.
Why?
No. Because he's too old.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
I think he's going to be playing Robbie Robertson. Do you know Robbie Robertson he works for J. Jonah Jameson at the Daily Bugle. He basically is like J. Jonah Jameson's kind of assistant, but like
he was in the first Spider-Man movies, right?
I don't remember if he was in that.
Well, he was the black guy, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I think. I know him from the animated show, from the 90s animated series. I don't really know him from the movies.
Which you did a review on.
Yeah. In the 90s animated show, Robbie Robertson is a good character. He has like a lot of great back and forth with Peter Parker, so I'm really excited. I think he's going to play Robbie. I think like right when I thought of it, like I was like, which person, who could Donald Glover play? And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, right when I thought of Robbie Robertson, I couldn't think of anyone else that he would play. Like no one else popped in my head, or like no one else, like every other character I was like, no, he's gonna be Robbie. Like I picture Donald Glover as the person that's like the assistant of someone, like not like I don't picture him like
sort of like his role in The Martian.
Yeah, exactly. His exact role. He was
great
in
that movie.
Yeah, he was. I don't picture him like Norman Osborn. I picture him like a kind of like the newspaper guy, like, yes, Jonah Jameson, I'll get you coffee or whatever. Like, that's what I picture him. Like, a little scene. Like, he's not going to be a main character. I think he's going to be there, but he'll have, like, maybe, like, one or two big scenes, but I think for the most part, he's just going to be there, like a side character.
Yeah.
And that's what Robbie Robertson will be.
Robbie Robertson was in the original Spider-Man movies. Bill Nunn played him. I'm looking at a picture. He was the guy who kept saying, give Spider-Man a chance. He's doing good. But then, that doesn't sell papers or whatever. So that was Robbie Robertson. But as for me, I think he is going to be Miles. Just kidding. He's not. There's no way he's going to be Miles Morales. He's 15 years too old, man. He's 32, I think. Here, I will look up that. But
he's way too old.
Yeah, he's way too old, and I just don't think now would even be the time to cast. Donald Glover's 32, so right now wouldn't even be the right time to cast Miles Morales. You wait 10 years and do that when Tom Holland's, he's not 20 now? When Tom Holland's 30, and that's still too early in my opinion. You wait till he's like 35 maybe, and then you do it. But I don't know who he's playing. I think it'd be cool if he was the Tinkerer, who was reportedly going to be in this movie. I think they might have already cast him. But the weird thing about the Spider-Man Homecoming is it's been pretty secretive so far. They haven't even come out with a full cast list, which is kind of crazy. And filming started on that yesterday. And Josh, if you scroll down on the show notes, we got our first picture of Tom Holland as Peter Parker in Homecoming. And
yeah, it's all.
What's interesting about this is that this picture of Tom Holland is that pretty sure in the Amazing Spider-Man movies they had Spider-Man going to Midtown High School, and in this, Tom Holland is wearing a shirt that says Midtown School of Science and Technology. So it sounds like Tom Holland's or Peter Parker's going to a school that's specialized for smart kids. What do you think of that?
That's cool. I don't really have like a big opinion.
Great
That's
answer. Cool. Great answer. but yeah.
Maybe at school the whole movie.
Yeah. What?
But he is saving the homecoming dance, right? Because it is called Homecoming. So.
I like the name. I just hope that they make it cool.
I mean, I don't get the name. I still don't get it. I still don't think it should be called Homecoming.
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm still sad that they didn't contact me because I auditioned to be an extra in this movie. Hollywood sucks.
I mean, maybe it's not too late.
No, it's too late because starting July, I'm pretty sure they told me they would tell me by June 1st, so it's a little late. But
oh yeah,
starting
definitely.
in July 6th through like the 23rd, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be in Mexico for a week with my friend Will. Follow him on Twitter at HappyClappy69, and then I'm gonna go to New York City with my dad. So I'm gonna be gone for a little bit. So we won't do any shows. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the main news. And then don't laugh if you guys don't like the name, but I've been trying to figure out a name for this rapid fire segment that we do. I just called it a rapid fire earlier. Now I called it Into the Speed Force. So
I like it because it's like we're going fast. Like we're trying to we're going through each one fast. Like we're not spending a whole segment on it. So I like it.
I want to make a clip from the Flash TV show where they talk about the Speed Force and edit it so it sounds like a cool intro to it. But if you guys watch our Star Wars show Force Talk, I call that in less than 12 parsecs. I don't think anyone's done that before, and if they have, tell me because I don't want to copy them. I thought of it myself, so
I like that one too.
I like that one a lot because it makes sense. But so Into the Speed Force. So now we're going to talk about it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run through each topic. I'm going to talk about them all at once, and then we'll go back and talk about them individually. So first, the first episode of The Flash, Season 3, will be called, as we talked about earlier, where the people messed up the two things, Flashpoint. Next, a new Sony Spider-Man video game was shown at E3. Tyler Hoechlin was cast as Superman in Josh's favorite show, Supergirl. Batman v Superman ends its domestic run, which means in America, making $330 million, a colossal flop, basically, in America. And then Charlie Cox, best known for playing Daredevil in Marvel's hit series Daredevil, tested to be Han Solo. And I have a funny story, there's a funny story about that, and I'll say at the end. So Josh, let's go through these.
So, yeah, the first episode of Season 3 of The Flash we called Flash.
It's like, duh.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, yeah, no shit, Flashpoint. But, yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty cool. The Sony E3 game footage was great. Like, that was so shocking. Like, I love how E3 is, like, there's so many surprises. Like, it's always, like, oh my god moments. Like, the only thing I really took away from the E3 Sony panel was the Spider-Man footage. I'm so happy that that we're getting a Spider-Man game, especially exclusive on the PS4. That's
Hell
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupid Xbox owners. But then Tyler Hoechlin cast as Superman on Supergirl. Supergirl, I'm gonna binge watch Supergirl when it goes on Netflix. I said I would binge watch the rest.
I will not believe it till I see you actually do it.
People said it got better, so alright, I'll binge watch it. Maybe it'll be better. Because it's going to be on CW, so, I mean, yeah, hopefully it's better. I always loved Melissa Bonet as
she's
Supergirl.
So hot.
She's the best part about the show.
She's so hot.
Yeah, and she's also great as Supergirl.
When she puts on those glasses, I become Martian the Supergirl hunter. Like, oh.
That sounds so great.
I become Atlanta man.
But the actor playing Superman, I still don't like how they're introducing Superman in this show. I just
it's kind
never
of
liked that.
It's kind of like,
I never liked.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to see Superman in the CW universe because then it's like, oh, we have a problem. Let's call Superman. Like,
Yeah,
why aren't we
it's
calling
like
Superman?
why hasn't he been there in any of the shows? You know.
I know that's my problem. So I'm hoping maybe he's in Earth like 3 and Supergirl gets stuck in Earth 2 or something like that. I don't
Maybe
know.
he's on
But,
Krypton and it never blew up.
yeah, something like that.
That'd be actually really cool.
But the
But then
actor,
the whole mythos would be off. So.
I mean, the actor's from Teen Wolf, and I just started watching Teen Wolf. I'm 2 episodes into it, and I actually really enjoyed the show. So he's cool in the show. And BVS ends his domestic run. 330 million isn't terrible, but it's not Batman Superman numbers. So yeah, sucks for them. And also Charlie Cox has their first Han Solo. That's surprising. I know he won't. I knew he wouldn't get that.
I could see that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I see him as Daredevil. I can't see him as Han also.
Well, speaking of Daredevil seeing, one of the reasons he said he didn't get it is because, so, if you guys are, I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably know who the character Daredevil is. He's blind. And so, Charlie Cox says that he hasn't been used to making eye contact with people when he shoots, when he auditions for stuff, or when he's been, acting, because blind people don't necessarily look. They don't look at people. They're blind. So when he was auditioning for Han Solo, he auditioned, thought it was good, went home. After he auditioned, the casting director or whoever was like, "Why aren't you looking at me?" And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about it because he's been playing a Daredevil. He hasn't had to look at someone when he acts for a long time," and he didn't get the part. But I think that's pretty funny personally. But
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Funny how he's so used to playing one role. I mean, but he's the greatest Daredevil. So.
What the hell?
They're always messing everything up.
Heroic Hollywood just played that music. God damn it, I hate them. But yeah. So that is
scoop.
What?
They got an ace scoop right now.
There is a meme of Umberto where he was like, "I have a scoop, guys. I'm ready to talk about it on Tuesday. Tuesday comes. I have a picture with the brand new Batmobile. Nothing's different." It's like classic Umberto. So, yeah, huh?
He's so
cocky, dude. His ego is like bigger than Thanos' head, man.
I remember when he made a whole big deal about going on the Schmoes No podcast and breaking a scoop. And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go on and break a scoop." And he goes on and he's like, the Wonder Woman movie is gonna be set 100 years before BVS. No shit.
Yeah. He's a cocky guy. But all right. So my take on this, Flashpoint is gonna be the title of the Flash. Duh. Spider-Man video game was awesome except for the Spider-Man logo on his chest. It was white and looked weird.
Yeah, it was
in
weird.
My opinion, yeah, I saw some editing where it was black, looked so much cooler.
I think it'll look good in the game.
And the thing about that game is you'll be able to use different skins to play as Spider-Man. So
yeah,
I just want to play as Tom Holland Spider-Man.
They'll probably be in Miles Morales skin.
Oh yeah, and honestly, Josh and I were talking about this. I got a picture at Denver Comic-Con with this guy dressed up as the Tobey.
That's what I want.
Me too. That's what I'm gonna say. As the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and the costume was literally the same costume that you would see in the movie. Like it was pitch perfect, and it was. If I felt like that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Spider-Man. Like that's the real Spider-Man. It felt so crazy. It'd be great if there was that skin. My favorite Spider-Man suit, I will probably get criticism for this, is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit.
I agree.
I really, really like that suit. I like the bright colors of it. I'm a sucker for bright colors.
No, I like the first Amazing Spider-Man suit.
It's too dull. It's too, like, it wasn't bright enough for me. But Tom Holland's suit is cool, but it's all CGI, basically, so, I mean, can you really count it? But I guess the other two were too. But I guess we saw more of them actually in the suit.
I love Amazing.
What?
I saw more CGI. There's more CGI as the suits went on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing going back and watching the original Spider-Man movies. How a lot of that was CGI and it looks really good.
Oh yeah.
Like it still holds up for the most part.
Yeah, it's a great suit.
Mm-hmm. And then Tyler Hoechlin will play Superman on Supergirl. I don't really care. I always thought it'd been cool if they had what's his name? The guy who was played him in Smallville.
Oh yeah, it's like Tom.
Tom Welling. If they had Tom Welling come back and play it, that'd be cool. He hasn't done a lot of acting though. I know he was in that one Nicholas Sparks movie. God rest his soul.
It's only the thing with him coming back is just the continuity thing. In my opinion, is like they had an Arrow on Smallville, they had a Flash on Smallville.
Well, I don't think there would have been any continuity. It's like where
no, I know, but it just I don't know.
People would have been kind of confused probably.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be like me. I'm worried about. It's like the people that watch Smallville, like, oh, where's Flash from that universe? Like, where is he? Or I don't know, something like that. Or where's Aquaman?
Mm-hmm. Where's Atlanta Man? Then Batman v Superman ends its domestic run of $330 million. Just to put that into perspective, so a big blockbuster movie like Batman v Superman, $330 million is not bad, but the budget was super high and it didn't even cross $1 billion. That's where people signed. I mean, it still made a lot of money, but it had a chance to make so much more. So to put things into perspective for just the domestic box office. Batman vs. Superman made $333 million in the U.S. Star Wars: The Force Awakens made almost $980 million just in the U.S. So that's what they could have. If Batman v Superman was just a good movie, like I like it, but I don't think it was a very good movie. I know Josh loves it, but I mean, if it got better word of mouth and better critical scores. I mean, it could have gotten close to Star Wars. So that's where it really lost a chance to really make a lot more money.
I mean, the problem with BVS, like, with marketing is...
Showed everything.
As much as I love BVS and I think it's a great movie, the thing is, kids didn't go to see this movie. Like,
I know.
With Civil War, kids went to go see it, and they were like, oh, I'll go see this movie. Like, the kids wanted to see it, but, like, with Batman vs. Superman, it was too dark, and the parents didn't want to take kids to go see it. Like that, like, I love the movie, but it sucks for the kids that wanted to go see it. They can't, and that was my problem. That's the problem with the marketing for that movie. That's why it didn't make that much money. I guarantee if the movie was just a little bit lighthearted, or more lighthearted, this movie would have at least went to $500 million.
Yeah, and I think there were probably more kids that went to go see Deadpool just because the parents probably didn't know what they were going into because it didn't look that dark.
When I saw Deadpool Thursday night, there was like 20 kids in that theater.
Yeah.
It was a big theater, but there were so many kids there.
That's funny. And then last, Charlie Cox tested as Han Solo. I could see him as Han Solo, personally, but I'm content with Aaron Eichenreich or whatever his name is. Never got his name right. But yeah, so that's basically it for the news. There isn't any TV to talk about because I guess there's Preacher. Do you watch Preacher?
Yeah, but it's not good.
I didn't like the first episode. And it's just not for me. It's just not for me.
I like the first 2 episodes, and I just kind of like got bored. Like, I'm still watching it, but it's so boring.
Yeah. So
it's just the thing is, for me at least, it's the AMC tone. Like, I don't like the tone of like the AMC shows. I just feel like they're very slow and boring. Is just the tone of every single show on there. I love Breaking Bad, but besides that, all of the other AMC shows, their tone is just boring and slow and just walking, and I don't like that.
Yeah. So instead of the TV shows, let's talk about DC Rebirth. So Josh, I'll let you start about that.
So DC Rebirth. So I wasn't gonna read Rebirth. Like, I love DC, and I wanted to get back in comics for a really long time, and Rebirth was coming out, and you actually Trey convinced me to read Rebirth. Said it's great, read it, and I'm so happy you did, because now I'm like, now I'm excited to read DC Comics again. I love the Rebirth. The first issue of Rebirth is great. Superman, the Superman series is great. Action Comics is really good. Detective Comics is interesting. The Green Lanterns is great. I thought Aquaman was good. Titans is amazing.
Yeah.
Titans Rebirth is the best one so far. So many emotional moments. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. Are we doing spoilers or are we doing spoilers?
No.
All right, so I'm not doing spoilers. So like, it was that, like, just so many emotional moments with like a certain character, which if you guys read it, you know what I'm talking about. Just so many like scenes where I just like, where like I was like almost about to cry reading it. It was so good. Like, all of them, like, they're just great. The Batman series, it's okay so far. It's good, but I want to see where it's going.
The issue 1 sucked.
Which one?
Oh wait, no, issue
One
0, or was it issue 0?
Well, Rebirth #1.
Rebirth 1, Batman Rebirth, or I don't know what I'm saying, but the very first one where they talked about the new guy. I didn't like that one. That one wasn't
the
good.
Calendar Man one.
Yeah. Well, but the second one where they, at the very end, they talk Gotham Girl and Gotham Man, or Gotham and Gotham Girl come in. That was a good issue.
Yeah, I like that one. I was like, I was interested in that one. Yeah. I just didn't like the Wonder Woman one. That's the only one.
Wonder Woman one was cool because I guess in the New 52 they kind of, or like I don't know what I'm saying, but apparently like there have been 3 kind of separate origins where she was made of clay. She's the daughter of Zeus and one other thing, and they kind of tease that, where I guess where I do spoilers, where like, but just don't do it. I don't want to do a lot, but like, which one is actually her real origin? She's trying to find it out, and a lot of the conflict in DC Rebirth is people not remembering stuff that's happened, and that's all I'm going to say for that. But speaking of Teen Titan, or is it no? It's just Titans issue 1.
Yeah.
I met the artist behind that. I don't know if he's the artist behind Flash also. I think he is. Sure. But I think he is. Yeah, I think I told him about that. But at Denver Comic Con, I met him and I bought some of his art and he signed it. And I told him, I'm like, dude, this is like some of the best I've ever seen in a comic book. It was phenomenal. And then, I was talking to him and I'm like, damn, I don't $20 is a lot, but it's not really a lot. But I want to buy it, but I don't. I'm going to leave and come back and I'll probably buy it. And then he was like, okay. And then I asked, because Josh and I are in a DC Rebirth chat on Twitter. I was like, should I buy it? And they're like, yeah, of course you buy it. And I was like, all right. So I bought it and I told them, I'm like, my friends in this chat I have for Rebirth told me to buy it, so I'm buying it now. And I just talked to him for a little bit about Rebirth. He said he doesn't know what's going to be happening in the story. Like, he doesn't really know it in advance. But man, if you guys haven't checked out Titans issue 1, the art is just like, I guess I keep saying this, I'm kind of a sucker for bright colors, but I mean, with the Wally West, I mean, you can introduce some really great colors in that. And so the art I bought from him was just this picture of Wally and all these other speedsters kind of like running. I didn't even know who half of them were, but they also, and I bought that was just like paper, like it wasn't anything special. But then they also, for $60, had like a metal version of that, which was so cool. It was beautiful, but I didn't want to pay $60 for it. So that was cool. Let's see what else. Josh, talk about Green Lanterns issue 1.
Oh, I love Green Lanterns. I think Green Lanterns is a great series. Like, I think it's very underrated. Like, everyone's like talking about like Flash and Batman or the Titans, but I love the Green Lanterns one. I think Titans is still the best one, but I think after Titans, I think Green Lanterns might be the best one. I'm very excited. Like, I really liked Green Lanterns. I think the characters are great. Like, I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan, so I never really knew Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart as much as like a lot of other people do. So like,
Guy Gardner.
Seeing these like new characters like Jessica Cruz and then the other guy, I don't
Baz,
remember. Baz, yeah, that's it. It was Baz, and they're just really interesting characters, I think, and like their chemistry together, I think, gives like a great dynamic, and I'm just excited to read Green Lanterns. I also tweeted the guy that wrote Green Lanterns, and he tweeted me back, so that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Flash also really good.
Yeah, I think my favorite issues, I really, really liked Green Arrow issue 1. I really liked that. I really liked Batman issue 1, Flash issue 1, Titans issue 1. Didn't really like Superman issue 1 very much, or Action. I don't know. I don't understand. Aquaman 1 was good, but it was kind of forgettable. I don't really remember what happened in it very well. What else am I missing? Rebirth issue 1, just the very first issue was awesome. That's why I got into it. I went and bought it. It's 80 pages, really good stuff. So that was cool. But, I mean, yeah, well, let's see. What comics are coming out Wednesday, Josh?
This Wednesday is Wonder Woman issue issue number 1, Aquaman number 1, Flash number 1, and then Action Comics and Detective Comics.
Oh, awesome! What I really like they're doing is they're not all coming out in the same week, so they're alternating, and that means every week we get new comics, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then have you read Civil War 2 yet?
Civil War 2. No, I'm not gonna read that.
It's pretty good actually. I like it a lot.
I don't read Marvel that much.
Fanboy. Just kidding. But Spider-Man's costume in that is really, really cool. He has like an electric or electronic spider logo and his eyes light up. It's a really cool costume. But basically in Civil War 2, the conflict is that there's this guy who is part of he eventually joins the Inhumans. And I guess there's a slight spoilers for issue 1, but it's going to spoil it. And he can basically tell what's going to happen in the future. He's Marvel's version of That's So Raven. And and basically, like, Captain Marvel wants to use him to basically stop certain things from happening before they happen. So Captain Marvel takes a bunch of people and they go to whatever planet Thanos is on and try to kill him. And in that happening, in that a certain character dies. And that certain character pisses off Tony Stark that he's dead. It really hurts him. Then they kind of have an issue, and that's basically it. But it's pretty good. I do like it. I haven't read issue 2 yet, but I will. And then I read the Spider-Man Civil War issue 1. That was pretty good. But yeah. Any other comics you've been reading?
No, not really. Just the DC stuff, and then the Star Wars stuff. But
Star Wars. Why we talk about Star Wars in the show? Did you read Han Solo issue 1?
No, I'm waiting till each chapter or each series is over, and I'll read them.
You gotta read Han Solo issue 1.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's really, really good.
I was
shocked.
A little bit of breaking news right now. Supergirl cast the old Wonder Woman as a character in Supergirl in the new season. They cast Linda Carter.
Oh really? Oh yeah. Will play POTUS. Oh yeah. Okay. She's gonna play the president.
That's interesting.
That's what POTUS is, President of the United States. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. Linda Carter's awesome.
Yeah, I like how Supergirl's doing that, where they cast the former characters as like the newer or just a character in the universe.
Yeah, I don't like that version of Jimmy Olsen though.
Oh, I hate that version. I hate him so much.
It's not Jimmy. Like it's not Jimmy.
I hate him so much. Like he's the Jay Garrick of Supergirl.
Yeah, he's pretty cringeworthy.
He's awful. He is so bad. He's the sole reason I think why I quit that or one of the reasons why I quit watching Supergirl. Like every time he says James Olsen, I lose my head just starts like steaming. Like I'm so pissed every time I hear James Olsen. It's pissing me off so much.
My favorite. I was stupid how they killed him off so easily in BVS. Like, what the hell?
Oh, Jimmy. I thought for a second I was gonna get happy that you said they killed him off in Supergirl. For a second I was like, yes, but no.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna do anything with Jimmy Olsen in the DC universe, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
They weren't gonna use him. So
but I don't know. It just seems like why would you kill him early? I don't know, but basically Anyways, I really liked him in the Spider-Man or no, what the hell in the Superman, the Donner Superman movies.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Okay, and then I guess we'll just finish it off with talking about X-Men Apocalypse because I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah.
So if you guys listened to this show before, you know that I thought every trailer for X-Men Apocalypse looked awful, and I'll still say it. All the trailers looked awful. I think the marketing sucked for it. I thought the Apocalypse look was bad. I didn't think it looked good, and I saw the movie. I went in with an open opinion. I thought it would be okay, and I came out really enjoying it. And normally I agree with critics on most movies, but this I didn't. Here, I'm gonna check what.
I neither. I loved X-Men Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. So X-Men Apocalypse currently has a 53 or 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I don't agree with that. I think it's definitely a fresh movie. Same with Batman v Superman. Batman v Superman should not have been rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. That's absurd. But
yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, 47 is not a good score, especially for an X-Men movie. I think that's it might be the worst X-Men movie, is it? Score wise?
I don't know. Well, Last Stand has a better rating, I think, than.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because Last Stand's an awful movie.
Yeah.
I liked X-Men. I loved X-Men Apocalypse. I thought it was a great movie. I don't see why everyone was giving it shit. Like, I don't think it's just. I still liked BVS better, I think, but I didn't really like. I still like BVS better, but I loved X-Men Apocalypse. I don't see what was wrong with it.
Okay, X-Men Origins Wolverine has a 38%, so that's the worst.
Lower.
Yeah, and then Apocalypse is second worst.
That's a better score. That has a better score than Batman vs Superman. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. But then the highest X-Men movie is Future Past at 91%. First Class is 87%. X-Men 2, 86. Deadpool 83. X-Men 1, 81%. Wolverine 70%. X-Men Last Stand 58. Apocalypse 48. And Wolverine 38. So
yeah,
but I did really enjoy the movie. I think the reason why critics didn't really like it that much, or the general consensus was they didn't like it, is that it's kind of easy to predict what's gonna happen with it.
Yeah, it was really predictable.
And Apocalypse was pretty just non-threatening. Just wasn't really a great villain, dude. Was easily defeated. It seemed like, I just don't know. What do you think of Quicksilver's scene? This is the spoilers, by the way, because if you didn't see it, you were not going to see it.
I love the Quicksilver scene.
What was the song that played? Was it Freebird?
I don't remember. I always forget this song for it. Yeah, I don't know. But I love the scene. I don't see I know a lot of people had problems with it, or not problems, but I mean, I think most people really like that scene. But I love the Quicksilver scene. I didn't think it was better than the Days of Future Past scene, but I still liked it.
Yeah, I think the reason why the first one people liked more was because it was so unexpected, and this one it kind of was. I mean, I liked this one a lot, but it didn't feel as original. Sort of like it kind of felt like, oh, here comes the Quicksilver scene. We gotta have a Quicksilver scene in every movie. But that being said, it was awesome. I loved the scene. He was my favorite part of the movie. The way that they killed Havoc, he's not dead, guys. There's no way Havoc's dead. There's a comic book movie rule. If you don't see him die, he ain't dead. And that's how I feel with Havoc. Josh, you know who Havoc is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's Cyclops' brother.
Yeah.
What do you think of Cyclops?
I loved the whole new cast. Everyone was great. Cyclops.
I loved Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was great. I liked him more than the original one.
Jubilee was barely in it. I never liked Jubilee. I didn't really care for that character ever, so I don't really care.
What do you think of Jean Grey?
Jean Grey I thought was great. I love that actress from Game of Thrones, so I was so happy when she was cast, and I think she did a perfect job as Jean Grey. Yeah, I thought they were all really good. I thought the whole new cast was great. I loved everyone. Oh, yeah. Storm. Oh, well, Storm didn't get enough development.
Yeah, Storm wasn't... She just didn't do a lot.
So I don't know. I think she'll be better in the next one.
I thought the opening was pretty cool, like the birth of Apocalypse.
Yeah, I thought the opening was great. I hate what's her name's character, Rose Byrne's character.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought she was a useless character and should not have been in this movie at all.
Well, I think the reason why is because of her relationship with Charles.
Yeah, but she lost her memory, so the whole movie she just didn't understand like what was going on, and you just didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with the X-Men movies is that First Class was supposed to take place in the 60s. You're meaning to tell me that Charles Xavier has aged 20 years without even aging? All those characters have not aged. Havoc looks 0 years older. That's my thing where it's weird. It just doesn't work. Like, it kind of throws me off sometimes, you know?
I mean, I can see that.
I mean, they could always like use, well, I mean, mutants age, not they don't age as well, but I don't know. It just like if the next movie's set in the 90s, that like then Charles will probably supposed to be 50 years old, and he's really not. He's like 30. Like it's just weird, I think.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the post-credits scene. I still haven't seen the second post. I don't even know if I didn't see either.
There wasn't a first. There was just one.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see it. I'm stupid. I didn't think there was one. I didn't even know there was one in Days of Future Past. I found out there was one after I saw Apocalypse.
Yeah, there was one in Days of Future Past.
Well, I didn't know that.
In Apocalypse. Apocalypse, I think it was setting up Mr. Sinister or X-23.
Yeah, X-23. I'm really excited for X-23. What'd you think of Wolverine's cameo?
It was cool. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Right.
John Campea talked about this, but when they were like about to go see, like when they saw the cage, they were like, she was like, I sense some kind of predator. It's almost not human. It's like it's some kind of weapon. It's almost like a Wolverine. I'm like, God, just go already. You know? It's like so on the nose. I'm like, everyone knows it's Wolverine, Gene.
Well, I mean, I still think, like, I know they showed it in the trailer, but I wish they didn't show it in the trailer. Like, I hate the not being, like, no secrecy these days. Like, I wish we didn't see Spider-Man in the trailer, but I understand
I'm fine with that.
But I didn't want to see Wolverine in the trailer, because seeing Wolverine trailer, like, if we didn't see Wolverine trailer, there was rumors he was in it, but seeing that scene would have been like, oh my god, that's Wolverine, that has to be Wolverine, and then Wolverine comes out, it's like, oh my god, it's Wolverine, but it was in the trailer, so when you saw the box, you were like, oh, Wolverine's in there.
It's some kind of Wolverine.
Yeah.
The whole X-23 thing was kind of cool. Or not X-23, Weapon X.
Yeah, it made sense, that whole scene. Just, my only problem is...
How did he get there?
Yeah, exactly. Remember the end of Days?
Yeah, because it teased that whatever the guy's general whatever wasn't... That was really Mystique, so...
So why? So how does actual Stryker have him?
I'm telling you, man. Continuity in X-Men is... There's nothing. There's no such thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that'll do it for the show, so... anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay, so, yeah, tell us what you guys thought of today's show. If there's anything we left out, comment down below. We'll talk to you about it in the comments. But
pitch a Aquaman from Atlantic movie in the comments.
Aquaman from Atlanta. Give me a director. Give me someone who's gonna play Aquaman, and give me a Mara. And so just. I don't even know if anyone's gonna understand that. But,
it's just gonna be us.
I will fan cast it, and I'll do some work on Photoshop. But
Kanye West as Aquaman. I'm saying Kanye West.
I know. So you saw in the Assassin's Creed trailer the song "I Am a God."
No.
I am a god. I am a god. Okay, Arthur, we know you're. I am a god. Shut up.
That's good. That would be. Oh my god.
Aquaman.
No, and Nicki Minaj is Mara.
You got that super bass fish instead of super bass. Oh well. But Aquaman from Atlanta goes to get his driver's license. Sir, what's your name? I am a god. Dude, shut up. Goes to the store, tries to buy some fish. Uses his trident to stab the person in the head once he sees that they're selling fish. I am a god. Like, he could only have to say, I am a god the whole movie. That was the only words he could say. It'd be perfect.
That would be so funny.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, we're gonna go out and probably just write a whole script for this new Aquaman movie. So stay tuned next week or next year or whenever the hell we do our new show. So see ya.